Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, and the main topic of the night to me is the rookie in Memphis, GG Jackson. Memphis is a team that doesn't get talked about a bunch online or in the media, it feels like, partly because they haven't been all that good. Ja Morant's been out, they've had a lot of people with injuries, but GG Jackson is a very strong bright spot for this team, because a team that already has some really good young talent like Ja, like Jaren Jackson Jr., like Desmond Bane, has another one in GG Jackson, who is the youngest player in the NBA right now, won't even turn 21 years old until the 2026 NBA season, a long time away. Though the Grizzlies did lose to the Warriors last night, Jackson showed out. 35 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 7 made threes, on 58% shooting from the field. He looks like their wing of the future and kind of the last piece they needed. They're going to need another center again, because if we're being honest, Jaren Jackson Jr. just seems like can't play center. If he's going to, then the lineup for next year will likely be Ja, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bane, GG Jackson, and Jaren Jackson Jr. But will Marcus Smart still be there? Who knows? Maybe they move on from him. I think he'll be back. But I think Jaren Jackson Jr. still needs a center alongside him because he can't really rebound. So maybe they start Santi Aldama or they find a different center. But either way, Jackson should be a huge piece of this team moving forward. And the impressive part is it's not just playing a bunch of random guys. Because when Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane were out, there was a big lack of guys who could put the ball in the basket. So if you wanted to doubt GG Jackson, you could just say there's no one else that can score. He's just out there scoring because no one else will. But no Vince Williams right now. Yes, he's not there. But Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane are both back, and he has kept up his high level of production like we saw last night. But over his last 6 games, GG Jackson is averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 made threes per game, while shooting 50% from the field, 39% from deep, and 86% from the free throw line. He's just been really impressive all around and deserves a lot more love. Should he be in the Rookie of the Year race? No. I mean, he hasn't played enough games, I wouldn't say. Because he did spend some time with the Memphis Hustle earlier in the season, but on top of that, the production hasn't been as constant, but maybe you could get a look at him for all-rookie second team. But more important than that, he's going to be a big piece for this Memphis team moving forward, and kind of the future of the wing position in Memphis feels like a future star, because if you're doing this at 19 as the youngest player in the league right now, it bodes really well for what you can do as you move forward, because a lot of players don't peak until about 27, so it's like 8 more years until we get prime GG Jackson, which is insane. It feels a lot like Devin Booker when he came in, where he was really young for his draft class, and it just felt like forever. He was younger than everyone thought he was, and it feels like GG Jackson will likely be the same way. And they've been needing a wing scorer for some time now. I mean, Luke Kennard's been out there. He just got there last year. They've been throwing out different guys, Dylan Brooks, who never felt like a long-term option really, and they just haven't had a great wing. Desmond Bane is really a shooting guard, if we're being honest. So they had Ja and Bane, and then they had Jackson. Steven Adams is cool as their starting center, but they just haven't had that wing, and now it feels like they have it in GG Jackson, and another one as well in Vince Williams, who I really like on top of that. So a couple of really good wings for Memphis. Many might call it a lost season, but they have some guys that have stepped up and have made themselves a part of the core moving forward. But props to GG Jackson, he's going to be special. But now let's move on to some other action from around the NBA. So in other action around the NBA, we did have 7 other games on the night, 8 games in total, including the Memphis game we just talked about. But let's go through each of them and just try to get an idea of what happened on this night of NBA hoops. The Pacers run away with a game in Detroit against the Pistons, 122-103. After that really tough loss to the Cavs in their game prior to this one, they bounced back with a win against against the Pistons. No offense to Detroit, but it's a good team to face when you need to get your rhythm back. And they did. 25 for Pascal Siakam, 20 points and 9 assists for Tyrese Halliburton. Both of those guys shoot 67% from the field or better, which is crazy. The Pacers as a team shoot 57% from the field. They didn't have anyone else that really popped off necessarily. 10 points and 11 rebounds for Isaiah Jackson. Props for the double-double there. But Detroit does get 23 and 10 from Cade Cunningham, but that is not enough to win them this game. As a team, they shoot 41% from the field and 22% from three. A pretty ugly game for Detroit. The Heat take down the Cavs in Cleveland as the underdogs. They win 107-104. Jimmy Butler plays very well in the absence of Bam Adebayo. 30 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, and 4 steals for Jimmy. And they needed him to go off to get this win, and they got it, which is huge for them in the standings in the Eastern Conference. Every win matters a lot more for Miami right now. They get 24 from Terry Rozier as well. The Cavs get 25 points and 20 rebounds from Jared Allen, but they definitely sorely missed Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Max Strus, who have all been out for a couple weeks. Mitchell played one game in there and then went back out, so it's been a tough stretch for them without 3 key guys. Then we have Kings versus Raptors in Toronto, and this one is a massive win for the Kings. They win by 34 points. Toronto is missing everybody. Scotty's still out with the hand thing. No Emmanuel Quickley, no RJ Barrett, no Jakob Poeltl, no Chris Boucher. It feels like almost everyone that matters for Toronto is out on the sidelines, and because of that, it makes it an easy one for Sacramento, kind of breaking their curse, because over the season, it's been a joke among Kings fans that they lose whenever any key player is out on the other team. As soon as someone is ruled out, Kings fans are like, oh, I guess we're losing this one, but not the case in Toronto. Maybe there's enough guys ruled out that rule doesn't matter anymore, but the Kings win 13, 17, and 10 for Domantas Sabonis, the triple-double king this season. 20 points for De'Aaron Fox. They get 14 from Chris Duarte, one of his best games of the year. Honestly, it hasn't been nearly as productive as they may have hoped. 18 for Gary Trent Jr., but the Raptors just don't have anyone who could really score in this game. Then we move on to Celtics versus Bucks, a game that we thought maybe could be a marquee matchup, but Giannis was ruled out. No Giannis in this one, and the Celtics take advantage, but do it barely. 122-119, the Celtics take down the Bucks, and it might be a scary sign for the Celtics if they meet the Bucks in the playoffs, because if you remember, the Bucks did blow them out by 40 plus, I believe, earlier this season. It was like the second night of a back-to-back. People were quick to brush it off, but them playing this Celtics team this close without Giannis feels like a sign that the Bucks match up very well. 32 points for Dame, 24 points and 15 rebounds for Bobby Portis, 22 for Chris Middleton, who has come back and immediately looked like the best version of himself, which bodes really well for Milwaukee as they close the season and head into the playoffs. Jason Tatum at 31 and 8, and that leads the win. 23 for Derek White and 19 for Peyton Pritchard. I believe we have 2 games left. We have 3 games left. We're going slow here, apparently. Thunder take down the Jazz 119-107, 30 apiece for Chet Holmgren and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This one was an easy one for the Thunder, win by 12. And Chet was a plus 27, plus 28 for both J-Dub and Josh Giddey as well. Utah led in scoring by Colin Sexton with 25. The Clippers take down the Blazers, get on a roll again, need to get some momentum back. Again, the Blazers are a good team to face when you need that. The Clippers 116-113, 27 for Paul George, 24 for Kawhi, 19 and 14 for James Harden. The Blazers do get 18 from Scoot Henderson, solid Scoot game. A bad DeAndre Ayton game, just 8 points after how well he's played lately. And in the last game that we have to talk about, it is Suns versus Sixers, a game that the Suns win in Phoenix 115-102, behind 32 points from Grayson Allen, who hit 9 threes in this game. They also get 22 from Kevin Durant. Bradley Beal, though, only 3 points on 17% shooting. And then the Sixers led in scoring by Kelly Oubre with 18 points. Not a very good Tyrese maxi game after his recent success as well. But that'll do it for this night in the NBA, another night in the NBA. Now let's move on to the next segment. This is the Moneyline Hotline, the place that keeps your bets from going cold. It was a second straight perfect day for the Moneyline Hotline yesterday, March 20th. The Pacers take down the Pistons, the Celtics beat the Bucks, and the Suns beat the Sixers in the best bet of the day. That one minus 141 could turn your $10 into 17. The underdog hit as well. I told you not to take it if Jimmy Butler was out. Jimmy was playing, and the Heat win. Plus 110 on that one turned $10 to 21. And then in the last one, the parlay for the day, that one hits as well. I took that personally. The Pacers, Kings, Clippers, and Suns win. That one at plus 113 turned $10 to 21.30. That one hit as well. Really good day yesterday. A lot of money to be made, but let's move into the best bet ladder, which moves on to today, March 21st, the third day. If you're starting at $10, you could get up over 70 today on the third day, which is really huge. I think in just 2 days I've went from 25 to 150 with a couple of parlays. I took the parlays instead of the best bet, but these are the best bets of the day, and it's Nuggets and Pelicans again. Nuggets versus the Knicks in Denver, and Pelicans versus the Magic. Both are 8-2 over their last 10, but I just think the Pelicans are a better team, and I have them winning it. Plus 122 turned 32.63 to 72.44. But now let's move on to the model predictions for the day as a whole. Today, March 21st, the best bet, like I said, is Nuggets over the Knicks and Pelicans over the Magic. Nuggets is a standard game at plus 3.9, and the Pelicans is technically a flip game at plus 1.9, but is right on the edge of that. Flip games anyway, hitting at about 60%, and standard hitting about 65. But I like both of these matchups. I think they're very good. And the parlay for that, plus 122, $10 to 22.20. And then one underdog today, the Bulls over the Rockets. It is in Houston, but if Kobe White and Alex Caruso play, it's looking good for Chicago. They will be favored if one of them is out, but I wouldn't take Chicago in that instance. The Rockets have won 6 in a row, I believe, and are really good at home. So if everyone is there for Chicago, yeah, take them, but otherwise I wouldn't do it. Minus 0.7 if Caruso and White are both out. If both are out, it would flip to Houston anyway, but the Bulls right now are plus 144, turn that $10 to 24.40. And then the parlay for the day, I just took the best bet because it's positive odds anyway, but the parlay, couple of best bet teams, and then you move to a couple of clear favorites, the Kings and the Suns. Let me pull up their opponents just so you know who they are playing, make it easier for you. The Kings are playing the Wizards, that is a super favorite, and the Suns are playing the Hawks in Phoenix, and that one is a clear favorite. So there is some additional money to be made there, can bump it to plus 193, but if you're okay with plus 122, I think that is the best bet for today. As I'll always tell you, follow the Twitter at @the_money_line for the picks as soon as I have them. But that'll do it for the Moneyline Hotline today. Hopefully you enjoy. Again, always bet responsibly, but this is your place for safe picks. I think we've been doing really well lately, and I hope to keep that success up as we move into the next day. But now let's look at the top 5 players of the day according to me. And that starts off at number 1 with Chet Holmgren, 35 points, 14 rebounds, 5 stocks, I believe it was 3 blocks and 2 steals, and 67% from the field. Grayson Allen at number 2 with 32 points, 5 assists, 9 made threes, and 85% true shooting. His transformation into like the best shooter in the league this year is insane, is leading the league in 3-point percentage, and is doing it at a very high volume. He'll have a lot of these really high 3-point nights, which is just awesome for them. Has become kind of a member of a big 4 because Grayson Allen just has a lot of big performances, and it's crazy how good he's become in Phoenix. GG Jackson at number 3, 35 points, 5 rebounds, 7 made threes, and 58% from the field. Jared Allen at 4 with the 2020 game. I don't think these get enough love. I was looking at Real, and this was not even in their top 10, I don't believe. It definitely was not in their top 5, but to me it is. I just love 2020 games. I think that's huge. I don't think it gets enough love. Even if you're a big man, it's hard to get 20 rebounds. 25 points, 20 rebounds, and nearly 80% from the field. Despite the loss, he was really good. 31, 7 assists, and 4 steals for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 55% from the field. It feels like he scores 31 every night. It's kind of crazy. But let's get into the top play of the day, which is this one, the Chet Holmgren poster over Taylor Hendricks in the Thunder's win over Utah. But no viewer submitted questions today that I saw. Again, I got to get better about putting up those community posts, but no questions on any videos or anything. So that'll do it for today's daily recap. I hope you enjoy. Again, I love making them. Go follow the Moneyline Hotline YouTube channel for the picks if you just want those separately. It's going to be the second channel from now on. So if you just want that, that is an option over there. Go subscribe to that. But I hope you enjoyed. Again, I love making these. So thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys. Peace.